Mic check, mic check. Can everyone hear me? Uh, Hello, my name is Amir, and I'm really excited to be here to doing my first stream of 2021. So now you can see I'm in the Lens Studio preview panel, and this is a Lens Studio 3.4. Which we just recently released, and I thought that it's a good opportunity to come here and hang out and see the new feature of the Lens Studio, so I can walk you through all the new features of Lens Studio 3.4 and yeah, and see if you guys have any question that I can answer live, and yeah, we can go from there. And if you guys can hear me well, just let me know in the chat. If you see me looking down, I have my chat on the phone that I can see like what you guys posting there. Cool. So let's start by going to the home screen. I'm gonna go to home screen and start from the new templates that we have. Cool. I'm gonna press Command W to go to the home screen. As you can see, Lens Studio 3.4, which has new features that you can see in here, new templates, as well as something that I'm really excited about that hopefully help you guys with your lens creation process is asset library. So I think I'm gonna start with the templates, and then I can go through other stuff. So let's start with the first template that you can see here. It's called 3D body. Let's click on it and go to the template. Okay, so I'm gonna change my preview video so you can see me better, but you can see it's already working since, like, as you can see, it's not seeing that. One of the cool feature about the full body, like 3D body tracking, is like when it doesn't see the whole body, it still like track it, which is kind of really amazing. But I'm gonna switch my preview video to one of the new preview video that we added to Lens Studio and see how this feature works. Cool. First, I'm gonna go here and select the video, and now you can see the monster is dancing. Yeah, as you can see, it's copying the position, body position of a Snapchatter and just imitating that body movement in here. So in this template, we have 4 different examples that you can find under the main camera, which the first one is dancing mark, and we got 3 other ones. So I'm gonna go through each of them and see what each of them does. So as you can see, to see the example, actually you need to open the scene object, and then go here. You can see there is a new component called object tracking 3D that you can see. It has all the reference to all the bones and or joints that it's getting modified based on the user's movement. So in this example, you can see it's only copying the pose of the user that you can see in the tracking mode. It's called position, pose only. So if you change it to the other one, what it does, it's gonna stretch the character to just like fit the exact body position of the user that it's dancing. But right now you can see this example is just having a character, not a stretch to the body, but just like moving with the body poses. And then let's go to the next example is like this space suit that you can see in here, that each person has its own space suit that you can see in here. This one also using a body tracking component to track the 3D mesh to the body. I'm gonna actually, after this, try to import the new 3D model and show you guys how you can set that up by yourself. And another example is this is stick figure that it's, again, this is a 3D body component that it's tracking with the body. Like this is a 3D body rig. And the last one is a gear component, like a gear object that you can see it attaches like some object to the body that you can see in here. If you highlight it, you can see this object got attached to the spine second, or this one attached to the left shoulder or right shoulder. As you can see, it's really easy to just like attach anything to the body. So what I'm gonna do now to show you guys how you can set that up on your own, if you have any 3D model, how you can do that. What I'm gonna do is create a new project and do it from the scratch so you can see how does it work. So I already have an object, 3D model that I exported from our other templates that I'm gonna import by dragging and dropping the FBX into the resources panel. I'm gonna first change the preview video to one of these dancing videos. And then after importing my 3D model, you can see there is a prefab that you can drag and drop and import it into the project. Now you can see like we have a huge character in here. Yes, in here that you can see. Okay, so how can we make this stick figure track the body? So it's really simple. Like you just, with the few clicks that you can make that attach to your body and make it work. What I'm gonna do is go in the objects panel and search for 3D, and you can see there is a new object called 3D full body tracking. I'm gonna click on it and then drag my imported FBX and put it as a child of that 3D tracking. Now you can see it's already moving with the user, as you can see right now. So how can we make this, like the pose of the character, also move with the pose of the user? So I'm gonna click on the 3D body tracking. The first option that you can see, like the object index, which means like this means the first person that is found by the lens, it's gonna start tracking to that one. I'm gonna change it to 1, and you can see it switches to another person. That's the second person that's found by the lens. Okay. Then what I'm gonna do, how to move the character with the body poses, it's really simple. You just need to match a hierarchy. So if your hierarchy, like a lens, like a rig hierarchy, has the same naming that you can see in here, and also you can get the reference on the Lens Studio website, it's gonna automatically do that with this match hierarchy button. I'm gonna click that and select the root of the 3D model that I imported and click OK, and boom. It's as simple as that. You can see now it's moving with the character. Now you can see we have a little bit of offset going on, and the reason is the position is -40. If I zero that out, it's gonna completely track to the user, and this is as simple as that. You can bring your 3D models in and make it move with your body movement. Cool. I think, is anyone have any question about this template, or can we go to the next one? So for the question of how to becoming a lens creator, I'm not sure about that right now. So, but feel free to ask on our forum, and our team can respond to that. Cool. Now we can go to the next next template. Cool. The next template that we have here, it's called body segmentation, which is, as its name, you can see like it's segmenting out the body and from the background that you can see in here. Now you can see our user is completely like the background is completely removed, and we can only see the user in here. This is one of my favorite templates to play around. It has lots of cool features in it. So I'm gonna start. Also this one has like a 4 different example, but I'm gonna play around with the first one and a little bit customize it and see how does it work. So if you open up the first example, you can see there is an outline. There is like lots of controllable object, like I can click on the outline blue and just like move it. You can see how cool is that. You can just like get the outline of the user and move it around and put it around here. And all of these material actually are made with the material editor, and they are like fully customizable. So I'm gonna click on the material and just like change some values to put my taste on it. So I think that's cool. Maybe add a little bit more depth to this one. And what I'm gonna do is change the color. Like I'm gonna go with the RGB. Like this is the blue one, and I'm gonna change the pink one to red, and also maybe create a new one. I'm just duplicating this and duplicating the material, and on the second one I'm gonna place this here and make this green to be RGB. Cool. I'm gonna move this down. That's nice that we got this kind of cool looking. But also you can do much more stuff. Like for example, I love to put like RGB onto screen mode to get the nice kind of, I don't know if it's a rainbow-like, but I can call it rainbow-like looking. Did I put everything on the screen? Yes. Cool. Now I can move that around. That you can see we kind of got the cool looking effect going on here. Let me undo that. Oops, I'm moving the background again. Outline blue. Yes. This is really cool to do these stuff. Like I really love to play around with this template. And then let's move around more objects. For example, we have this animated circle that is playing in the background, or the background also has we provide some different background, but you can easily like change the material, and you can see we can get like a cool looking effect going on here. Let's do one more. Yeah, I kind of like this one. Yeah, this is really cool. But I'm gonna go through the other stuff, that other example that we have in the template. So this one is attaching something to the body and have a segmentation going on that you can see. We kind of occlude the animated background, and this one has like a very nice helper script in here that you can smooth out the movement of these wings in here. Like I'm gonna make it really smooth, and now you can see the right wing, elbow wing. It's kind of much more smoother than the other one. This is a really nice example that I really like. Then let's go to another one. This is like a freeze frame example that is freezing a frame by tap, and you click and there you go, it freezes out. And the last one, which is really amazing, I'm gonna turn off the sound because it has a sound, and now you can see it's a time-based effect, that it's changing the effects based on the time. So in here you can see there is a controller for this script, and you just place all of your effects here, and you say like which one should be enabled at what time, and you can sync that to your audio to create the like amazing effects like this one that you can see here. Cool. I think this was any question about this template? Everything good? Nice. Let's go to the next template. And the last one in the in the 3.4 releases. Oh, I'll click on the new project, and let's go to home and select the hand joints template. So this template is tracking all of the hand joints, as you can see right now. So you can see the joints in here that you can see, like we have joints for thumb 1, 2, 3, like for all of the parts of your hand, we have a tracker for that. And this template is triggering effects based on the gesture that we specify in here. So in here we can we have a helper script to help you create the interaction without even writing any code. You can use this hand trigger example with the behavior script to create your own effect. So now you can see we have like this script here that it's saying like the default texture gesture that we have here, index, and you can see in here. And in here we say like when that on start, which means like when that gesture happen, what should it do? And when the gesture end, what should it do? So we have the string for both of them. And now you can see in here, and if you open the object, you can see on start, we have the exact same string as we have on the start in the behavior script as a trigger name, and just saying like enable sparkle, play this music, or changing the hand outline color to white. So now you can see as soon as we go to the index finger gesture, is it called index finger? Yes. Our outline turns to white, and it plays the sparkle material particle, and just it goes through the other one. Like you can see, we have a victory, we have a 3-finger, and you can see much more. And also another thing is we also provide this hand tracking that you can connect like more stuff to your hand tracking. So if you want to add stuff, you can simply add anything in here. You can, if we open this up, you can see how the tracking works. You can see we have an image for each part of the hand that it's getting tracked on. Cool. Any question about this one? So we can go to the next example. Cool. So anything in the chat? No. Cool. So we're going to go to the next big thing, which is the asset library. So in this release, we provided, let me go back to myself. So hi. So in this one, we provided asset library so user can start making the lens process much more faster, and we provide lots of cool stuff in our asset library that you can see in here. To open asset library again, I'm gonna go in up here, and you can see there is a new button added called asset library, and we have different category that you can see in here. That you can see we have essential, we have a 3D, we have 2D, and material, tools, lots of VFX, SnapML, audio, and references. So I'm gonna start with walking you through like how does our asset library works, and showing you some of the example from the asset library. So the first thing that I recommend when you're using the asset library is looking at the I button, info button about each asset that we provide here. Like for example, you can see if you go to this left or right hand detection asset by 2020 CV, you can see there is a description on it on how you should work with it, and also putting like some useful links for these assets. And if you click on any of these, it's gonna open the guides for you. Like for example, this one needs to add an orthographic camera. So for anyone doesn't know how to add an orthographic camera, we have a guide for that as well. Okay. So let's start importing one asset and see how does it work after we know this thing. So to import any asset, you just go ahead and click on import, and you can see it's getting added to my resources panel right here. So what I'm gonna do is see like what does it, like all the assets that we have, it has what you need to do with that asset. In here, you can see the prefab say put in orthocam. So to add the orthocam, I have a very fast way of adding it is just like search for screen image and add it to the project, and just deleting the the top one and keep the orthographic camera. Now we have an orthographic camera in our project. Then in here it says put in the orthocam. We just put it in the orthocam, and now you can see it's working. It says no hand detected. If I bring my right hand, you can see right hand detected. If I do left hand, you can see that my left hand is detected. It's really cool that you can just make this stuff really fast, like add this stuff to your lens and start creating without even trying to know how does this code working, because it's already doing everything for you. Okay, this is the way that we add the orthocam, but let's do other assets and see how other assets are working. I'm gonna create a new project to be cleaning that in our resources panel, and go here, and then let's start. I don't know, what should we add? Like for example, this trail effect. I'm gonna import, and you can see the trail effect imported, and this one say place in objects panel. So you can just like put this anywhere in the objects panel, and you can see the trail is working, which is really nice. It's like you can create the trail like as fast like that. Let me click on this in the objects panel. If I can move this, okay. Now you can see the trail is also working. Like you can connect this to your hand and just like have it move with your hand, or you can just like have a trail for your head that it's track on your head. So these are the simple stuff that I think all of you guys know, so I'm not gonna go through that. But if you also doesn't know, just go to the Lens Studio website and we have a guide for everything. So this is another type of asset that we have here. And let's do another thing. I'm gonna delete this one. Also, the cool thing about just having as a prefab is like if you don't want it, you can delete it and again add it like here. Like you always have a copy of the of what you import in your resources panel. So let's go here and add another example that this is a new asset that got released today by Ines Alpha, which is really nice. So this one, it says put under main cam, which you need to put it under the main cam that we have here. And now you can see I have a kind of cool looking face mesh on my face that also it has a different example in it, like this one. This is really nice looking. And yeah, these are the cool example by Ines. Cool, I'm gonna delete that and let's go to another stuff. For example, eye material. Let's import material, like let's import two different material. I'm gonna first import, for example, sparkle material by Ben, and then eyeball material, and I'm gonna later use those. Okay, let's start with, cool, everything got added. So let's go with the sparkle. So I'm gonna add the face mesh, and as you can see, all of our materials is imported by the material that you can see. It's a material asset here, and I'm gonna drag and drop the sparkle on my face, and this is really, really nice effect that you can see here. And you can change the noise scale that you have here. Also, you can add the opacity texture in here to make it like really cool. Let's try to add more stuff in here. So this is kind of a good example on just like creating a lens based on like stuff on the asset library. I'm gonna add a little bit of speed on it, and then I want to put like some mask on my face to just like show on some part of my face, but I don't want to go to any tool to create that. So what I'm gonna do is go to the asset library and go to the 2D, and you can see there is a face mesh opacity texture collection that it has like a different collection for the opacity textures. I'm gonna import that, and then in here you can see there are lots of different face mask in here. So I'm gonna click on my sparkle and set one of these in here, and you can see I have these effects only on my eyes, which is kind of nice. This is really cool. So let's see if anyone has any problem. So about the question about the 3D position, so it's actually like the 3D tracking. So you can get the position in the 3D tracking as well. So any other questions so far? Cool. Okay, let's see how does the iMaterial working. So iMaterial is working with the iMesh that we provided in the Lens Studio. So I'm gonna go here and add the eyeball mesh that which provided by Lens Studio. And then in here, I can go there and apply my eyeball material in here. Now it's really kind of looking weird, but it's really cool that you can have an eyeball material that you can customize. And yeah, let's see. Okay. Yeah, and you can customize all of these values which is provided here. This is kind of like scary, but you can customize all of these values. I'm gonna delete that. This is kind of scary to me. Cool. And okay, let's add more stuff. Let's go crazy. And I'm gonna go to the feature, and this is one of my favorite stuff. It's called lens flare, which I always want to use it in my lenses. So, okay. One thing that it's good that I imported this one is some of the assets come with some kind of like a small guide that you can see in here. That this guide is only just like telling you how to use this asset. So if you see that on your imported asset, you can delete that. Like if you expand that, you can delete these info card. And now you can see this lens flare is reacting to me, which is really, really nice effects that I really like this one. So this is another effect that we have in here. But as you, okay, yeah, let's go to the next example. Cool. And next one is bloom effect. Like this is one of the most requested by our users, like how to create the bloom effect. So this one is also has an info card that I'm gonna delete, and you can see we have a bloom effect working in Lens Studio, which is really nice. So how does a bloom effect working in this example is we have two instances of one object in Lens Studio which set into the different layer. So what I mean is like we have one which is set to the default layer, as you can see on top right corner of the inspector panel, and another one set as a bloom layer. So whatever that you want to add, you need to have two instances of it to have this bloom effect to happen. So for example, you can see like if I disable the bloom one is gonna go. And we have another effects. We have another objects that we show it on a 3D object that how does this thing work. So I'm gonna customize the bloom with the bloom objects under the bloom camera that I can right click on it and highlight it and change the bloom like this. You can change all of the bloom values in here like as easy as that. This is really, really nice effect that I really like, which is kind of nice. So you can see it's also using a bloom texture that it's a render target that if you want to see it, we can go to the scene config and look at the render target that see what it's rendering. Like it's rendering those image and apply those blurring and like all the bloom effect on top of that. Cool. And I think in here, if we add it to the screen texture, Okay, we applied the bloom to everywhere. Now I'm getting hit by all the bloom. But if you want to apply the bloom to everywhere on your screen, you can easily set that as a screen texture. Now you don't need any like instances for another layer. So now everything that you have in here is gonna apply bloom on it. Like before that, it was only applying to those objects that it was in the bloom layer. But now when I set the bloom texture to screen texture, which is everything in the screen, you can see the bloom is applying to everywhere on my screen. That you can also customize this value and just make it yours. So this is a kind of nice effect for snap camera for removing the background. That you can see, you cannot see anything on my background. Cool, let's go back to the chat and see if there's any question. So, okay, how to create the burst effect of particle applying the same technique? I'm not sure what is that question, but I'm pretty sure we have a if you go to the particle template, there is a burst example that you can see how does that one work. And also definitely we have it in our form as well. Cool. So let's see what else do we have in the asset library. So we have like lots of more stuff. I'm gonna start a new project because I think I added so many stuff. But another cool thing about just like having all the assets importing as a prefab is like all these assets not gonna count as your lens size. So everything is in the objects panel gonna count as your lens. So don't worry about like importing so many assets in your resources, because it's as long as it's not in the object panel, it's not gonna count as your lens size. Cool. Let's create a new project and see what else that we can talk about. Like any question regarding to oh, bloom with particle, you think? What do you mean? I don't exactly get it. So, oh yeah, we have a bloom particle. If you like, we have like a bokeh particle. Is that what you mean? I'm not sure if it's that one or if it's something different. But or you want to apply bloom to your particle system. I'm not sure which one is that. But let's try to do that. I haven't done it yet. Maybe we can do it together. Let's add the bloom to the particle. So I'm going to import embers particle as well as bloom. So I have a bloom in here. I'm going to disable it and put my ember particle here. So let's see if we can see my particles showing up. Okay, now we can, oh, bloom with particle. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, hopefully, in here. So you can see we have a different embers particles happening here. What I'm gonna do is making a duplicate of, let's do it on actually one of them. Let's not have lots of them. If it's working on one of them, it's gonna work on all other one as well. So let's go to the particle and let's see in here and how many particle that we have. I'm gonna make the particle bigger so we can, no, I think, is a particle viewable for you? I think it's kind of, let me go to another, like this black background so we can exactly see it in here. So this particle again rendering on the default layer, so we need to have another one to render on the bloom layer. So I'm going to duplicate this, put it as a child of this one, and change the layer to bloom. Now you can see something happen. Yeah, I think we're having a bloom happening on these particles. So I'm going to select my bloom material again and play with the values and see how this one works. Okay. I think I'm seeing this, but maybe I'm wrong, but I think it should be applied. So how can we, the way that we can see it is go to the bloom and see, yeah, this is definitely rendering. So let's go back to the render target. And again, I'm gonna select my bloom. And yeah, now you can see, okay, now you can see the bloom is happening on my particle as soon as I started playing with this value. Now you can see this is much more, this has much more bloom to it. Hopefully it's visible in the stream. I don't know how it's visible, but yeah, now you can see it's different. Like if I disable this, we don't have a bloom. If I enable this, you can see we have a blooming happening in here. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And if you duplicate more, you can see obviously more bloom happening to this one. Okay, cool. Then let's go to another example. Let's see what else we have on the asset library. Cool. So yeah, there's one fun material that I really like. These two fairy material is really nice that I'm gonna import, like for example, main fairy material. And this is one of the most requested material that people have been asking for. So I'm gonna again add it to face mesh because my face is, you can see my face here, and then apply the main fur that we just like imported into my face. And it's really funny and cool. So also this one has a lots of control on the material that you can change lots of stuff in here. And the cool thing is this one has a mask that you can say like what part of the of these mesh that you want to mask, and it has like some preset mask that here that you can see I have a eyebrow or mustache that it's really nice looking. I'm gonna change the color to see like if I have a mustache, how would it look like. Cool. This is really a fun material to play around with. Yeah, that's really nice. I really love this one to play around with it, and it's really fun. So now you can see we have like lots of cool stuff on the asset library, and we always going and update our asset library with adding like more content in here. So I recommend you to check the asset library every week and see like what are the new stuff that it's showing up in the featured page. Also, I also recommend going through like all these pages and see what we have here, because we have like lots of cool stuff in here. I'm gonna just like, for example, add one 3D model that sorry for the noise outside. I think there is a helicopter passing by. Okay, I imported that vehicle pack that in here, and this one is again placed in objects panel. I put it in the objects panel and wait for a second, and you can see we have a car in here. That's really nice. I'm gonna keep the car and delete the rest. Cool. This is a nice car. So also I can go to the asset library and maybe we want that guy in that car. Let's import the toy box model. And again, I'm gonna wait for the prefab to get imported and import that in the project. And I'm gonna keep that statue guy, delete the rest, and put that statue guy in my car. And that would be really fun. That I really enjoy doing. Do I still have my beard? Oh, wow. Yeah, I do. Yes, I'm making the best lens ever right now. Okay, this guy is in the car. So like, let's make it much more fun. Like, you can add helper script in here. Also, we have all of those helper script in the tool section as well. Like you can see, we have a tween, we have everything in here as well. But what I'm gonna do is just like add it into the Lens Studio. For example, I'm gonna make a tween and just make a fun thing, and then that should be all for all for this stream. So let's add a tween. I'm just gonna move the guy and have fun in here, and hopefully you learned something. Now my computer is kind of dying. Hopefully it doesn't. Okay. Cool. I added the tween, and now I can add tween to my car. So I'm gonna add the tween, and tween, I'm gonna tween types and maybe tween transform, that I wanted to just move my car forward. So I'm gonna do like something like this. Offset. Okay, so the car should go 10 unit forward and 10 unit in X. Okay, that's very nice. So I can make it loop, so my car goes, or I can put it on additive, and then the car is gonna go forever. And it stops because it's not on the linear, and now you can see the car is moving. That is really fun. And I'm gonna add the last thing for this stream to make it much more fun. Tween types and tween transform. And I'm gonna actually move this guy to turn around and look around. So again, I'm gonna put it on the offset and make it move like minus 20 maybe, and make it as an additive. Oops, that's really slow. Make it faster and make it loop. Now this guy is gonna look at us as he passes by. This is really fun. Like, spending time on asset library is really fun, just like to create all of these funny lenses or anything that you can think. I think it's really cool. So I recommend all of you guys spend some time on the asset library and see what you can create with this feature. So, okay. Is there any other question before we end this stream? I'm gonna look at the chat. Cool. So yeah, a great thing. So script section, we call this script section tools. So imagine like the script section is tool section. So we have like all of our scripts in the tool section because we pack it together. Like for example, we call it tool because we put all of the asset and everything together as a like a pack, and that's why we call it tool section. So for example, I don't know, you can see like there is a lots of tools here. Like for example, if you want some content to be shown on the front camera or back camera, there is an asset for that. Like this is literally a script doing that. Or like navigation controller, or for like laying out your object or zoom effect or anything. Like all of our script is in the tool section. So make sure if you're looking for some script doing something, check out the tool section. Cool. I think it's at our time. If you guys have any question, feel free to ask it in the Lens Studio forum section. Yeah, thank you guys. And I hope you guys have fun with the asset library and all the new stuff in the 3.4. And let us know if you need anything, any asset that you like, or anything that you think it would be helpful for you to be on the asset library. Or if you think you have something that you want to share, just feel free to post in the forum and we can reach out to you guys. Thank you so much for staying with me during this stream, and see you guys soon. Bye. I'm gonna try to, okay. Thank you.